Welcome back. This is Dr. Lori. The next item on the syllabus I'd like to share about is something that students always have a question about, and that is the textbooks and other resources that you'll need to be successful in the class. So a lot of times students will ask, do I really need to buy the textbook? Do I need to buy all of the textbooks? And what we've done for P-Core is that since we have so many different textbooks and some of them only have 1 or 2 chapters that you need to be focused on, is we have put together a digital textbook that includes just the chapters out of the textbook that you need. Now the thing I'd like to emphasize is this seems like an expensive book. It's $200, but that includes all the chapters that you're going to need for all 3 quarters of P-Core. That's for fall, winter, and spring. All of the chapters are included in that one e-textbook. Now there are 2 options because sometimes people really like to have a hard copy of a book. And so there are 4 of the textbooks that are included in this ebook that we use the majority of the chapters. And so say for the epidemiology textbook, we use all of the chapters, I think, except for 2 of them. And so for somebody who wants to have a paperback for that particular book, because we use so much of it throughout the 3 quarters, I think that's a really valid point. And so what we've done is we've taken all 4 of the books that we use the majority of the textbooks. We use most of the chapters in these 4 books: biostatistics, epidemiology, what we call the Novick book. It's Public Health Administration, has information in there about how public health administration works, and the Behavior Theory and Health Promotion Practice and Research book. Those textbooks, we use so many of the chapters that it seems like it would be a good idea to have a paperback book if that's the way you like to learn. So then we removed all of the chapters from those 4 books and we created what we call the partial e-textbook. And what that leaves is all of those other books that have maybe just 1 or 2 chapters out of them. So you don't have to buy all of the hard copy books, all of the paperbacks. You can't, it's about 1/3 of the chapters are in this smaller e-textbook, and then the other 2/3 are in these 4. So those are the 2 options. You can either get the fully digital, what we call the full e-textbook, and it has this ISBN number. It's $200 for all 3 quarters, or you can go get what we call kind of digital print or digital paperback, where you get the 4 textbooks in paperback because some people like to have that hard copy book, and then the remaining chapters are condensed into this ebook that you can use. We don't have a way of printing that off, but once you get the ebook, you actually can print the chapters one at a time if you like to have a printed copy. But that way you don't have to print these books in their entirety. So those are the 2 options for textbooks. Either option 1, you have 1 e-textbook, everything is in there, or option 2, where you get 4 paperbacks and a partial e-textbook. So in other words, do not buy both the full e-textbook and the partial. You don't need both of those. You need to choose one option or the other and go with that. I do understand, at least last year, you could download the e-textbook that we had before. You could set that up on up to 4 devices, I believe, and so you would be able to look at it maybe on your computer and your iPad or your tablet or that kind of thing. So just look and see what the options are for this year, and then you would have multiple places to look at that. In order to purchase those can be purchased through the Loma Linda bookstore. You can either call or you can go in person. I would recommend going in person if you can. Please contact me if you are having issues with that. I want to make sure everybody has that textbook by about the middle of our first week, because you do have an assignment that you need to be working on over that first weekend, and we want to make sure you have what you need. The second thing that I would like to share about is the software. And specifically, we're going to be doing some of the assignments in the SPSS computer software that's for statistical analysis. And you can either, if you are local, use the computers in the Loma Linda School of Public Health Computer Lab, or you can get your own copy of that SPSS software where you rent it for 12 months for about $92. And that is quite inexpensive as software goes. I think the actual price of that software, if you were out in the real world, is several $1,000s. So it's quite a discount. They want people to be learning to use their software so that you're familiar with it and can use it in your workplace, obviously, when you grow up and have a job. So if you do opt for getting your own copy, maybe coming into the lab would mean you'd have to drive all the way to the school, and you'd rather be able to work from home regardless of whether you live locally or not. Please be sure that you are getting the grad pack, not the student version, because when you go to these websites, sometimes there's so much information that it's really easy to get confused. Also, we're in version 25. Versions 24 and 23 are still out there available to get, but if you have 25, then it will look similar to whatever we're using. Also, you need to get the premium. The base and the standard don't have some of the features that we will actually need for this class, so make sure that you're getting premium, and you will need it all the way through the end of spring quarter, so be sure you're getting a 12-month license. It also comes as a 6-month license, maybe for $20 less, so just make sure that you have it for the full year. The most important thing, and probably the biggest mistake that people accidentally make as they're purchasing it, is they might buy the Windows version and try to download it to a Mac, or they click on Mac to download it to a PC. So that's an easy mistake to make, but once you've purchased it, then it's really difficult and time consuming to get that switched out, and maybe not even possible. So just really double check, look at what you're getting, make sure that it's the grad pack, version 5, premium, 12-month license, and that it's the correct platform for the computer that you're using. So that concludes my overview of the textbook and software. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I am happy to answer those for you.